Good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, share, help promote, and rank up my channel, all that good stuff. So, more news on the Evil Dead reboot of a reboot. Evil Dead Bruce Campbell promises a new setting title for the reboot. Bruce Campbell says the next Evil Dead movie, which has been named Evil Dead Rise, will not feature a cabin in the woods setting for the action. Bruce Campbell has revealed the title of the next Evil Dead movie, while also confirming the project will do away with the franchise's staple of having the horror take place in a remote cabin. The official name is Evil Dead Rise. We're getting a new draft in. I don't think anything will happen until 2021. Full bore ahead. We're excited about it. A whole new ball game. No more cabin in the woods. So I'm curious, very curious, what this means for the franchise. However, while Campbell's Ash Williams is still seen by many as the face of the franchise, the actor recently said he's retiring the character to leave the door open for a new set of everyday heroes. You could have different heroes, different heroines. In this case, this one's gonna be a little bit more dynamic. We just want to keep the series current. And if you don't know, they're having a female lead, and it's a reboot to the already female-led reboot. And that's not gonna include her in it. So if I go over here, I can show you Evil Dead Rise. Jane Levy won't return for a sequel. In light of the news of another Evil Dead film in the works, with writer-director Lee Cronin fronting, expect another fresh new take on the franchise, since neither Bruce Campbell nor Mia are involved. Talking with Collider, Levy spoke about her future with the franchise, working with director and her work on the NBC series Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. The actor first worked with... Okay. It doesn't really have a lot of substance here. She's just not going to return to the... Okay, when it comes to any hopes for a return to Evil Dead Rise, if Cronin offers, Levy replied no. If she returns to horror, the actor admitted she would rather not expend her energy screaming throughout the film. Screaming for my life is something that I've done enough of. She said, not saying I'll get rid of horror altogether, because I just watched Dr. Sleep the other night and loved it. Okay, so that just pretty much concludes. She's not going to be involved. Ash isn't going to be involved. This is going to be a complete new version of Evil Dead, complete with Rise in the title. So Evil Dead Rise isn't going to have either one of them in it, and it's going to be a new female-led reboot. But it doesn't have a date, I don't think. We can see real fast. Not really. But other than that news, we also have some more updates on the Chucky series. If you don't know that, Chucky's getting a TV series. Child's Play TV series will explore how Chucky operates in the world of social media. I'm wondering if this is going to be its own thing, or if it's going to be based off that terrible movie that they put out not too long ago in an effort to try to reboot Chucky and re-energize the franchise. I thought that movie was very bad, and I was incredibly disappointed, because when you hear Mark Hamill's going to be in it, you think, oh, that's great. We're going to hear some really psychotic, maniacal laughter, because this is the guy that does the voice of the Joker. But nope. So sci-fi and showrunner creator Don Mancini's Child's Play TV series will utilize pretty much 100% puppetry and preserve straightforward scariness of the original film, giving Chucky new weapons, strategies, targets, and goals. And today, Mancini says the series will explore how Chucky operates in the world where kids spend so much of their time on social media. So I wonder if Chucky's going to be kind of like a pedophile, just targeting children. It's pretty disturbing. You tell Sci-Fi Wire it's a look at what it means to be a kid today in the 21st century as a distinct from, he's going to catfish somebody, from what it looks like to be a kid in the 1980s when we first showed up on scene. That's one thing I think we can look forward to, and thinking about how Chucky does operate in a world where kids spend so much time on social media. For example, playing video games, interacting with another one on social media as opposed to in a park, which is what we might have depicted 30 years ago. I think the prospect of seeing Chucky sharpen his skills and add to his toolbox some of the technical goodies that we have at our disposal now, that's something I think people will find pretty interesting. In the new television series, after a vintage Chucky doll turns up at the suburban yard sale, an idyllic American town is thrown into chaos as a series of horrifying murders begin to expose the town's hypocrisies and secrets. Meanwhile, the arrival of enemies and allies from Chucky's past threatens to expose the truth behind the killings, as well as the demon doll's untold origins as a seemingly ordinary child who somehow became this notorious monster. So produced by UCP, the series will be executive produced by creator Don Mancini, Hannibal, Channel Zero. Channel Zero was actually pretty good, at least for the first season and second season. He's also done Hocus Pocus, Frailty, and Nick Costa. I don't know. So the act Channel Zero and his banner Eat the Cat through his deal with the studio. Emmy nominated Harley Payton, Twin Peaks, Channel Zero. So there's a lot of Channel Zero people. Will also write the adaptations, so serve as showrunner and direct first steps. I'm very curious to see what this is going to look like. I'm wondering how many people are actually excited for this. And there's one more article, two more articles I'm going to cover. Scream relaunch aims for 2021 theoretical release. So with original star David Arquette returning, the Scream film series is expected to relaunch in 2021 with production set to start in late summer 2020. After talks of Scream 5 surfaced earlier this year, Spyglass Media Group and Paramount Pictures announced a reboot will be released in theaters 2021. According to Variety, the two film companies have teamed up with Ready or Not directors and the iconic horror franchise to bring the iconic horror back to the big screen. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a reboot or a soft reboot. I know that they were trying to get Neve Campbell to possibly return as Sidney Prescott, but I'm not sure how this would go down. If they got Neve Campbell, I think they would definitely be able to get Courtney Cox, but I don't know if this is supposed to be a reboot or a continuation or a little bit of both, and it's a little bit unclear to me. I guess we'll have to wait for more news. If anybody knows, comment down below, but I guess we'll have to wait for more news to come out. It would be really interesting to see David Arquette and Neve Campbell come back and Courtney Cox come back and reprise their roles, not just play like some parents of some new generation as an Easter egg or glorified cameo. That's highly possible. Or if it's a continuation, are we really going to have all three of these characters survive again? And is this going to exclude the last Scream film, which was poorly received? Because I've heard that it's going to try to skirt around that film as if it never happened. But then I've also heard that it's going to be a complete reboot. And then I've also heard that it's going to be a continuation of the existing content. So who the hell? Just give me answers, man. There's also this Blumhouse boss is ready to take over Universal's Dark Universe. Jason Blum is happy to breathe new life into Dark Universe of Universal Classic Monsters, but has admitted there could be a major stumbling block. Jason Blum has said he's ready to take on the task of reinventing Universal Pictures' canned plans for the Dark Universe after the success with however you pronounce that dude's name, Invisible Man. Discussing granted he'd like to craft his own dark universe, Blum told Fandom. I would absolutely accept the task, but I don't think that it's going to happen because the studio has been developing a lot of different ones. They're down the road with different people, and they made this decision to do it that way, so the ship has already sailed. But if they change their mind, I'm in. Universal hoped to copy the success of Marvel's Cinematic Universe with its own expanded franchise based on its classic monsters, with everyone from Dracula to Frankenstein monsters. Yeah, you know, Tom Cruise's Mummy was criticized, and everybody just wants to copy Marvel's success. They want to follow their outline, their plan, take that trip to cash. And DC, they try to jump ahead. They try to do something different, which is just rush it, really rush it, and it kind of blew up in their face. And you have other ones trying to play it. Blumhouse trying to play it safe with their plan, but one of their films blew up in their face. And if you really think about it, if They probably should be glad that this film blew up in their face the way it did, this early into their attempt at making this shared universe. That's my thoughts on it. But what do you think of all this news? And there was another Chucky article, but I think it pretty much just covers the same stuff I already said about it. It may shed light on whether or not the film, I don't know if this series is gonna just start fresh or what. But I just think it's really interesting that Chucky's gonna have his own series, and hopefully it works out way better than that movie did. But it's gonna focus on social media, and the movie focused on modern day stuff like apps and technology. I just want it to be more old school Chucky. I like the first two Chucky films the best because he was a psychopath, and the films were pretty funny and brutal and interesting. But give me your thoughts and opinions below on all this different stuff, and which ones you're interested in, which ones you're not. I'm not really interested in another Evil Dead film that's just going to be a female-led reboot of a female-led reboot with no Ash involvement at all. That just doesn't sound appealing to me, and there's not going to be a Cabin in the Woods, and we already had a reboot back in like 2013, so it's just like, subscribe, share. Fake Goodwin here. Eventually we will. Stay awesome. Rock.